Welcome back. It's still Your View, reaching you live from TVC studios. The full implementation of the country's new automotive policy began yesterday, July 1st, 2014, under the automotive scheme. There is an increase in the duty and levy payable on imported new and used cars from 20% up to 70%. This move by the federal government is aimed at encouraging local production of automobiles. But experts and various stakeholders have repeatedly cautioned against the danger of implementing this policy without first putting in place necessary infrastructure such as uninterrupted electricity supply and good road networks. This, they say, may push the cost of locally assembled cars beyond the reach of most Nigerians. What impact will this have on the masses? I know the impact is having on me already. Our guest, an economist and financial analyst, Muktar Mohammed, is here to discuss this with us. Welcome to the show, Mr. Muktar.
It's a pleasure.
So, like me and many Nigerians out there, they're wondering, how are we going to cope? What's your idea? What do you think about this policy?
No, like they say, no policy have a right timing. There's no right time for any policy. When it comes to economic policies, you just have to be dogmatic in going about it. But for this particular one, I think the timing is wrong. I think the government, whatever gain they want to score from this, is ill-conceived because I don't see how it will work, because we have been saying that they say the automobiles, the Toyotas will be in Nigeria. The Nissan even announced that they have a plan in Nigeria. But you and me know there's nothing like that on ground.
How will this increase in tariff encourage local production by automobiles, since local production capacity of automobiles at the assembly plants currently is 45,000 and what we consume per annum is 800,000 units of cars?
You see, we just deceiving ourselves as a country. Sometimes we like deceiving ourselves. We like saying we are there when we are not there. It's just like when we went to launch space program, we said, we have satellite on the space, and even till now, the satellite cannot even be found, and then cannot even help in tracking down insurgency for what all of us told us.
God bless you, sir.
So we are like that. We try to go, then later on we come back and reappraise ourselves.
Can it be reversed?
We like to run before we can crawl.
Definitely.
Can this be reversed? At least, since everybody's saying this is a wrong move, this is a wrong move, do you think they would be able to stop this or reverse this?
I think they will come up with a diplomatic way of telling us that it has been reversed, blah, 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 blah. But I don't think they will outrightly tell us that it has been reversed.
I didn't invite our callers to give us your view. I know a lot of you are concerned about this. You can ask any question from Mr. Muktar by calling us on 07080668014, or you can tweet your questions or comments to us at Your View TVC. We're still talking about the increase in the automotive tariff.
I need you to break it down for the layman, meaning that a car that used to be 3 million before becomes like 5.1 million. Now we're talking about Nigerians, majority of us being impoverished and poor. Now, when car spare parts, even, you have a car, you think it doesn't affect you, but then spare parts increase up to that level. Transportation increases. It affects food. It affects everything in the economy. Before you know, you who used to earn 18,000 naira, and you could feed yourself for maybe 2 weeks out of 1 month. Now you maybe cannot even feed for 1 week. I need you to break down what this policy will mean to the common man in the street.
I like your passion. You are so you are so touched by this. Well, the policy that is, like you said, it's going to increase the cost of having cars. But you know the way it works in Nigeria. You see, it's just an avenue to enrich somebody. And I don't think it's an avenue for the custom people to make more money for themselves. Because...
But it wasn't a custom-made policy now.
No, it's not a custom policy. What happened in Nigeria is that when a policy comes, somebody will definitely benefit from it. Because we are saying that you don't import a car 70%. You and I know that these cars can come into Nigeria with less than that. And that money will go into individual pocket. And the border is still porous.
That's what I want to ask you.
Then the infrastructure is not there, like you rightly said. I know of I don't want to call name, of a company that wants to go into this automobile. We brought journalists, I think even your broker station was there, TVC was there, channels were there. He showed us vast hectares of land. That's what they're going to be using for their production. And I passed there last week. It's still like that. In short, the grass has grown more
Where's
than it
even
was.
the power to even start the
But
manufacturing?
don't you think this would divert Nima? This because we already know that a lot of things that should come through our ports are already being diverted to neighboring countries. Don't you think we would lose more money? This policy will make us lose more money because if I'm going to pay 70%, I'll just take my cars to Cotonou and bring it in through Cotonou.
No, even through Cotonou, you have to pay that 70%, except you're doing it illegally.
You see, even through Cotonou, you have to pay that 70%, but you and I know you will not pay that 70%. Even presently now, even if you bring car to Cotonou, do you pay the 70%? No. So you just get a military man in front of you, or get a police escort, or even a custom man in front of you, and you're through.
But you will charge that 70%. When you enter, you will still charge your clientele.
Which
That
is what he's
70%.
saying.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. We're going to reach. Even before this policy took effect from yesterday, you know, it has already started.
Yeah,
To the layman, they said, by next month, this thing will go high. So cars were already going high. Even before. And, you know, it's unfortunate that up to this moment, the federal government, through the Minister of Trade and Investment, has not come out to categorically said, has this policy finally taken up? Because we need to have a categorical statement as regard that. I'm expecting that to come from the National Executive Council meeting that they will have either yesterday, today or tomorrow. I expect that to come in from them. But for now, I don't think that policy will do any Nigeria any good, even the very rich. It will not even help them because the very rich these days, how many of them can afford a new car? And we say about Nigeria, we're going to give our indigenous people room to
Mr. Muktar, we have a call.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Kamaluddin. I'm calling from Kejana.
Good morning. Welcome to the
Please,
show.
I want to for this topic that we have discussed about. The right this thing that we are discussing about.
Oh, okay.
Because in my own police voting village, I find this particular case. They are given to 200 naira instead of.
Oh, I think we lost that
him.
call. Okay, YK, you said you have a question.
I was.
Oh, Nima. Okay, Nima, go ahead.
I was going to talk about the people because the organization of whatever importers something came up in the papers some time ago and talked about a certain group of people getting import waivers for cars. They made it was a full-page article that they wrote and a letter to the government on that importation. Now, some people have imported cars that are already on ground, and then they will increase these cars and sell at the rate or the present rate of importation now. What plans do the government have to curb this kind of thing?
Okay, I saw that advert and I actually had a discussion with one of the CEOs of these companies, and what they said that there were some people, some companies inside that knew that this policy was going to take effect.
This policy was well known of.
They actually imported so much car into the country
with government
waivers to get this. That is an allegation that have not been substantiated.
It was in the papers and nobody negated
It doesn't matter. It hasn't been substantiated, is what he's saying.
Yes, that not be substantiated, but there was importation of large numbers of vehicles by this particular company.
But they are allowed to import. They are allowed to import.
No, what they're saying is that
waivers.
they were saying that not apart from the government waiver, they were saying that it takes a particular amount of time to import cars into the country. So if you have, they had a pre-information, like insider information about this policy. For them that were not aware and this policy just came to them, that means by the time they import their cars into the country, it will meet up and their price will be higher, and this guy can decide to sell his own lower, and everybody goes to this guy, he makes more money.
We have a call. Be welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's have your view.
These are the reasons why I always call Nigeria, aka tragic comedy. All these things are happening, selling, rice for people's food. We don't even know what they want. The doctors going on strike. People are complaining about the doctors going on strike. If your dad was a doctor, would you tell him to keep working and without coming in with a penny?
I think
Nigerians are not ready to stand up to their rights. There should be, if there's a nationwide strike from primary school, the girls are still there 72 days, If the girls are
79
more days, you have 3 months. If there's a nationwide strike, everybody, teachers, everybody going to try and tell the government, we want our girls back. They've not done anything. People are saying citizens it's not just the government that to watch out for security. What has the government done? Show examples to the citizens. Nothing. It's just talk. And more people keep dying. Everybody, Nigerians need to stand up. Nigerians get comfortable with bullshit and rubbish. They need to stand up to their rights.
Is NLC that can
We can't
we can't be
NLC.
inciting. Let me explain
Dubai.
something. As much as we know things are not going right in the country, we can't incite people. We can't tell them to what's good. Because if we crumble the economy, we are the ones that will suffer most. As much as possible, we live on a daily basis. So if we go on strike, people will die of hunger as opposed to currently dying of other things. So yes, we have issues. We can peacefully lay our claims and, like you're calling on the show,
Can
let people know about it. But inciting people to go on strike, please, we really don't need that. We don't want to crumble the economy as much as we're complaining about it. YK, please.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because there are new cars that come into the country.
Yeah.
We have the companies. I don't want to mention their names. The companies. They bring in new cars. Now, they will increase their... Will it increase? Because I don't know if this thing is for just Tokumbo cars.
No,
or it's for the brand new cars
New
as
as
well.
Both of them.
You see, what the government told us is that now there are some particular companies that when you bring in, if you can, look, it's not outright manufacturing of these cars in Nigeria. That one people should know. It's assembling. So you bring in all these lockdown, everything, and then and that was what we were doing before with Peugeot and others. We're just going back to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's not about, and they said if, according to the government, if you have a plan in Nigeria, maybe Toyota or Mercedes-Benz have a plan that they are doing manufacture, they are allowed to bring in their own cars. The cost of their cars will not, the duty on their car will not be the same duty as the duty on those that do not have any plan in Nigeria.
As an economist,
Okay.
because we know we don't have employment, the country, we're on a large rate of unemployment. Don't you think if they are assembling them in this country, it would make sense for us as regards to employment? And then when people are employed, they earn salary, they pay tax and all that.
Look, this is a high-skilled job. It's not just a job that you pick anybody in the street to come and do. Are we prepared to train our own people? You see that what happened in the oil company? All the big job, are being handled by foreigners. So the Nigerians are just there. So if we still bring this thing, we still have Nigerians expatriates.
So it should have been an awesome project whereby our schools are producing engineers and all that.
Now, where are the engineers
Why
to
can
make
you
the
say
cars?
something?
When I was growing
The
up,
polytechnics are on strike.
when I was growing
who
up,
will be
to
the
buy a
technicians?
Volks was
6,000 naira.
3,000 actually. It was 3,000. The Peugeot was 5,000, 6,000. Today, it's nothing. I mean, it's now millions.
3.5.
When they are producing these cars here, it's still going to be out of the reach
Of the poor man.
We don't have any
masses.
tweets on this.
Yes, we do have tweets.
I don't
take
even like the
2 or
word
3.
masses. The general
Majority.
human being, because we are the majority.
Yes, now.
I cannot afford to buy a car of 3.5 million.
Nima,
for instance.
just pick 2 or 3 tweets.
Sorry, sir, let me just take a few tweets. Bayer George says, I was hoping that there would have been production already before government kickstarts this policy, just as rice was stopped without local production. Folabi Adebakin says, can we get the new cars and pay over 15 years? Is this policy people-oriented? Bright says, sir, how many car producing or assembly companies do we have in Nigeria generally now? He's talking about the capacity to even meet the demand. Then Folabi Adebakin, last one, says, let's not bring grammar on these auto tariff issues. Who owns the assembly plants in Nigeria?
Well, as much as we have so many questions, we're hoping that the government will feel the pulse of what everybody is saying right now and do something that will change this policy to favor the people, because you're there to serve the people anyway.
Is it not the same as privatization?
No, you see, like the guy in two just said something about the rice policy. You understand? We've gone back now to say that we can start re-importing, that the tariff has come down. You see, we do some things without thinking. It's after while somebody must profit from it first.
Well,
then before we now come back and say,
we will be wise. Some of us will be wise enough to tap into it and profit from it one way or the other. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Pleasure.
Thank you, ladies. I hope we've been able to educate as much as entertain. Really more about education anyway. You can watch a repeat broadcast of today's show at 11:30 today if you missed any part of it, and you can also watch previous episodes on YouTube. Go to YouTube/TVC Entertainment and search for Your View. Stop terrorism, say no to insurgency, and yes to a peaceful Nigeria. Thank you for watching once again. Keep it with us tomorrow. See you. Have a great day. Bye.